Hey love bugs, it's Roslynn back at you one more again. I hope everybody is doing blessed and highly favored, and definitely hope the same for you. And if this is your first time stopping by my channel, much love to you and welcome. And to my returning subs, my grown extended beautiful family, as always, thank you so much for the love and support. It's truly appreciated. So with that being said, much love to all. Namaste, love and blessings, love and light, and many blessings are definitely coming your way. And if you have been watching my videos for a while and have not already, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell at the bottom so you know when your girl's about to upload her next video. Also, if you feel like you're comfortable enough, drop me a line or two. I would love the chance to get to know you as much as you're getting to know me. Excuse me, y'all. Even if it's about the positive feedback to the content of my video, or you're up telling me about your empathic gift. If you feel the videos, gives you a good uplift that you would love to share with a loved one, family, or friend, or even a fellow empath that may be going through some trying times at the moment and just needing spiritual guidance or confirmation, validation towards life path or soul purposes, please go ahead and share. And while you're at it, give a girl a thumbs up, like, and also share in the social media favorites wherever you see fit. As always, thank you so much for the love and support. And I hope you're able to resonate with the content of my video. Today, I'm actually doing something out of my actual jurisdiction. It's like when the universe tells you to, migrate to a certain level or a certain insight, I go ahead and do it, just because I don't know, they asked me to do something, so I just don't get no questions. It's like, do you fall in the line of the ESFP? The signs to know you do carry this trait. It was so many different stuff. I've been doing videos for a week, so it's just like certain things they're guiding me to talk about, and it's just like a lot of times, y'all, I freestyle a lot of time. But if there are certain things that I'm not very sure about, I'm not gonna tell you no lie. I'm gonna be very transparent. It's like when I can identify with certain things. It's like I know there's like INFJ. I identify with that one. And I know there's INFP. I think that's what it's called. There's so many different traits. It's like we have the whole alphabet. And it's just like the stuff that I was reading about. It was a lot of them. They were given the trait of entertainers, Marilyn Monroe as well as Elton John. I love them both. There were some powerhouses. Like even when Marilyn, she's still making an imprint on life, even though she's transitioned. But these are a lot of different things that you may be able to identify if you carry that trait of FP characteristics. Is like they're very resourceful. They prefer to learn hands-on experience, which I know a lot of us are. And it's good when you can be able to have that kind of guidance. But they always tell you trust your own instinct, because you never know where people are getting their information from. You don't know if they're actually giving you something that they want you to know, because some people be they be tricking. So it's just like they dislike book learning. I can't stand it. But if there are certain things I love to read, I like to do audible. I'm ADD, so my attention span, there's a lot of different things. I said, let me just save that, and instead of writing all this stuff down, let me just save it, and I'll go from there and just ad lib off of that. But it's just a lot of different things. They're always that person. They're very extroverted. They keep themselves entertained as well as other people. They're very hands-on, people. And it's just like it's like personality type. Some struggle in traditional classroom settings. It's like, however, they excel in situations where they are allowed to interact with others and learn through direct experience. And that's a lot of what we deal with. It's like life very much in the here and now. It says sometimes fail to think about, current actions will lead long term. They don't like planning things out. How people will be like, what's your 3-year goal? What's your 5-year goal? Or what's your life goal, with short term, long term? I'm like, look, I don't even know if I'm gonna make it past next week. So I'm just, play it by ear, and just let it do what it do. They very much here and now, and it's just like they don't they will often rush into situations and figure things out as they happen. Yeah, there's a lot of us, we don't do that patient word, just wait a minute, fill it out. No, they like jumping in, with their eyes wide shut. It's like they will often rush into that. And it's like they also tend to dislike routine. If I do a lot of that, I have to switch it up, because it was like, with that, OCD and ADD don't match. You have to be able to switch it up every now and then. I can't do a routine. I'll get bored real quick and not want to do it anymore. And it's just, it's like they enjoy new experiences, and they're always looking for new adventure. In addition, they're having strong awareness of their surroundings, and they also are very understanding, perceptive. When it comes to other people, they are able to sense when others are feeling, and know how to respond. It's like people tend to find them warm, symptomatic, and easygoing. And it's like, while ESFPs are fun-loving and do not shun the spotlight, they are more interested in simply living in the present and doing what feels right at that moment. Yeah, they say a lot of the is like the strengths that they have is optimistic, and rigorous, enjoying people and socializing, focused on the present, and spontaneous, very practical. Their weaknesses are dislike abstract theories, become bored very easily, does not plan ahead, and very impulsive. It was like, oh Lord. And it's like, the cognitive functions, senses, and thinking, feeling, and intuition. Some of these are more dominant than others. And oh Lord, I can't even say that. Hierarchical or order of these functions influence how people perceive and relate to the world. The functions focus out on extroverted. In other cases, they are focused inwardly than introverted. Extroverted is functions are focused on interacting and acting within the world around, while introverted functions the center on internal reflection and analysis. It's just, they do a lot of different things, but a lot of it reminds me of certain characteristics that the INFJ has. I'm a type of person, I love to learn different things, and it's just like, when I'm not going to try to say, oh yeah, I have this, and oh yeah, I know all about this, because if I don't, I'm just telling you, hey, universe has guided me towards doing different things like that. Just like there'll be times that, back, it was probably about 2 years ago, when they wanted me to talk about the false twin flames. And that was like pulling teeth with me. I don't like doing videos like that because it's negative. But then when I had to allow myself to switch the perspective, there's a lot of people that are out here being guided blindly when people can tell you that you're a twin flame, and it come to be something that they're not. But the upside of that, anyways, when you're interacting with that, it was a part of you, even though they're not that connection, it was guiding you to bring that to light in your attention, for you to know, hey, this is not your twin flame, but they're guiding to bring this towards your hindsight, for you to know that yes, you have a counterpart out here, but it's just not that. They had to be able to trigger that for you to understand, where that, where is it leading you to. So and it's just like they said, it's just like they don't spend time planning or organizing. Instead, they like to keep their options open. Yeah, it's just like very, just depending on where the leaves blow. As so when solving problems, they trust their instincts and put trust in their own abilities to come up with a solution, while they are responsible and pragmatic. They dislike structure, order, planning, and they act spontaneous and don't like spending a great deal of time coming up with a plan or a schedule. It's like improv, different things that we go through. There's so many of y'all that I'm connecting with, like Roslynn, I'm an INFP, and I'm and it's just like, all these different things are coming up to the world. And it's just crazy how a lot of us have these spiritual hats, and there's different ones. It's just like, with my spiritual enlightenment is, you learn new things about yourself and your surroundings every day. And I love to be able to learn about new things. There's a lot of y'all that send me, different links or different videos, and I really truly appreciate it when you do, because I'm like, oh, this sounds like something I can be interested in. And then I start reading up on different things, because when it started popping up to me, I'm like, oh, what's that? And it may be something that people identify with, but I know there's a lot of people that I've come connected with here, and some of them are trying to understand if they actually hold the trait of being Heyoka. And it's just like with us being that way, we got so many hats that we're feeling at one time, and it's just like you wonder why we feel like we're about to lose it all at one time, because you're dealing with so many different like spiritual hats that you don't even know that you carry at times. Because it's like when they're showing me about our spiritual being as that within a nutshell, not in the human suit, but just that we can have like a million traits of gifts and it won't bother us. But when we're in this human suit and we're in human form, they got to do that in moderation. It ain't gonna be healthy if you end up doing something like that. So it's like so many different things that are taking place. It's just like when you start studying on one thing, universe has this way of you guiding towards certain things in your life that you've done natural. You did very natural, and then come to find out this is a gift. I used to have an issue with going into like garage sales or pawn shops and stuff like that, secondhand store, even though I like to do it because there's beautiful things in there. But when I got awakened, like I was kind of shifty about it before, I knew what was going on with me, but it spiked up after, all these veils were snapped off. And I'm very selective about the things that I touch, the people I touch. I tell people, it's not good for always shaking hands when you meet somebody, because you don't know what energy they're trying to place on you. You really don't. And different things that's taking place. Like I didn't know anything about psychometry, but there'll be certain things that I can pick up on, and it strengthens out a lot from that, because there's like more people that when I connect with in their family that has transitioned over, usually guides them towards me. And, their family will let me know certain things, just because you coming to somebody, you don't know them from Adam. And you don't know if you can trust these people, especially if you already have trust issues. So they would leave something to me that there's no way of me finding out, especially if you're approaching me, I didn't approach you. And so, and those things tend to happen, and you start learning more about yourself, because it's like when you're going through that huge transition, it will leave a lot of stuff up in the air, like where do I go, what direction are you leading me to? And it's telling you to be open, really be open on these different things that is coming to light to you, or getting your attention, on these different things that's going on. And y'all might be sounding like really nasally right now, but it is just like my third eye is like wide the hell open. So it was just like my sinuses is like kind of really messed up right now, but I'm still keep it moving. And let me see. Yeah, they're the type of people that they don't like taking emphasis on planning out. They want to use logic, like, hey, just roll with it and just go with that. And some people, if they're very anal about different things, I'm like that. About different stuff, because it's just like when people come in my house, they're like, oh God, Roslynn, like I got all these DVDs and everything is like alphabetical order. My closet used to be everything color coded by seasons and everything like that as well. So it's just like I'm very anal about a lot of different things. It makes me feel like my life is in somewhat of order, even when it is not. But yeah, there's emphasis on personal feelings rather than logic. The facts are making decisions, and they usually just go with the flow. It's just like going with the wind. And they have eternal systems that value on which they base their decisions on, which they base they're based on different decisions of value, and they much aware of their emotions, and they're empathic towards others. They try to excel, and it's just like with them, the way I'm feeling it, it's like one of them, like it's not riled up like hyper, but it's just like everything they do is moving fast. It's like they don't, we're like, hey, it's like, what's plan B? We ain't got time for plan B. We on this A, and you keep on talking about plan B, it's going to distract you from plan A. So let's just move. So they're doing different stuff like that. And within their thinking. So they're putting themselves in another person's shoes, so to speak. A lot of us do that. Sometimes we're not trying to, but it happens. I try to see, where the other person is coming from. I try to be as much open-minded as I possibly can towards different things. It's just like, especially when we're on chat, which I love to do. A lot of people, you can always agree to disagree, and that doesn't mean it needs to be drama. Some people take it personal, but I'm a type of person, you can open me up to a different perspective, and I'm gonna respect you for you having that. And I'm not saying that everything that I say or I do you have to agree with, because you have your own mind, you have your own, your info and enlightenment of choice. So it's just like, I can see where you're coming from, and I can understand where you got that perspective from, but I'm still with mine, but I can still agree with you on that. And there will be certain times people want to argue about different things like that because they want to force that truth on you. I'm that type of person, if you can identify with it, okay. If you can't, it's still okay. And if there are certain things you may not understand what I'm talking about, there's sometimes I don't even understand what I'm talking about. It'll be certain things that I was just led to talk about, and it is what it is. It's like, they're extroverted thinking. It's like they focus on enforcing the order on the outside world. It is centered on productivity, logic, and results, because it tends to be weaker aspects of personalities traits. It's like they may not always feel secure sharing their judgments, especially if they feel it can disrupt the harmony of the group. Yeah, I can, because there's certain things that they identify with, and I can feel that way. Because it's like when I tell people certain things, I try to make sure I articulate myself, be very mindful and discerning, because I never want to offend anybody when I say something. It's like, if I'm saying, it's not about me walking on eggshells, but if it's me speaking my truth, it's different if you with your friends and your family or whatever, you may say certain things, but there are certain things that you can sit up here and chit chat about, but you better not come up in here and do it, because it can cause you issues. And I try to make sure that I'm very open-minded to that, where I'm not trying to make somebody feel some type of way in that way, so I try to make sure I'm very discerning, about that, and I mean, it's just, to me, I can see that, but I can disagree with it too. If I know I'm not placing judgment on people, and that's a lot of times, we can do that. I've been caught up in it, and I'm like, don't do that, because you got to backtrack, on certain things that, you can identify and say that person's done this, but if you knew what you were experiencing when you went through it. So you never want to place judgment on somebody, because you once went through that too. Even though you have overcome certain things, there's other people still trying to get there. So if you can give them some kind of advice or insight if they're wanting it, because some people just don't care. They want to be able to do what they need to do. Well, it's like they're inferior introverted intuition. It's like their least prominent aspect of personality. This function can help the ESFP spot patterns and make connections in things they have observed. Is usually not particularly adept to using logic, but sort through abstract concepts. But it's like the sense of can sometimes lead to flashes of insight or epiphanies about themselves in the world. I mean, this is just like, I like hearing about different stuff like this, because like I said, I like to learn about different things. Y'all know, if you've been with me for a while, I usually, freestyle it or whatever, but unless it's like, okay, I want to make sure that I don't leave anything out, especially if it's something I'm not very informed about, but I'm learning as I go as well. That, I want to be able to make sure I'm not leaving anything out or any details that, it can really mean something, and then I overlook it. But they said ESFPs, you might know, Bill Clinton, Pablo Picasso, I think that's how you say it, Picasso, Mark Cuban, Will Smith, and Fred and George Wesley from the fiction of Harry Potter. So there's different things that they have that you may be able to identify with. I might go ahead and put this link in there in case you want to make sure that you you can allow yourself to identify with this, or you see yourself identifying that. Let me just put it that way. But there's a lot of interesting stuff in there, because certain things I may not be that, but it's just like certain traits that they carry. I know I've done it. I don't like those long-term plan stuff, because it's just like I might change my mind like an hour away from now. So I'm not going to sit up here and put that in stone like that. I ain't gonna make no promises I know I may not be able to keep. But I'm gonna go ahead and put these different links down that they have on this. And it's a really good read, because I was just trying to make sure, I didn't leave anything out, but I'm not trying to drag this video on any longer than I need to. But yeah, they said these type of characteristics these people have. They're very warm, they're kind, they're thoughtful, making them popular and well liked by others. This trait, they enjoy meeting new people, but they also have a thirst for new experiences. They are generally focused on the present and will often be the first person to try the newest ride at the amusement park, which pump my brakes on that one. No ma'am. I don't do no roller I don't do roller coasters. I ain't been on it since I was 20 years old. So but yeah, they don't like routine. And they're always like different things in their life. But I'm gonna go ahead and put these links down in case you want to sit up here and read furthermore. And that you may feel like you were that you can really go for that, because I just didn't realize how many different these characteristics with the INFJs and all these different things is on here. I'm like, man, you just don't know. There's all out there, and it makes me feel like a bookworm. I like to be able to have like information sponge, being able to suck all this stuff up and like, hey, I learned something different I never, came across before. But it was just certain things that caught my eye. I'm like, oh, okay, let me go ahead and make a video about these different things. I can't really identify with them because I didn't really know them at that, but I know there are certain things that I can, I can allow myself to say, yeah, you do certain things like that as well. So hopefully this will be something that you may find for yourself that can be very educational for you. And I would love to give a post notification shout out to Brian Dodry. Much love to you, Farrah Hazard, Jennifer Cheney. I will be having my live chat and vibe in the next 3.5 hours. So hopefully we'll be able to connect there and talk about different things that's going on. It's just been very crazy for a lot of us right now. So it's just like you had to be placed in solitude for you to be able to see different things. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these links in there, so you can go ahead and research it yourself and see if there are certain things that you can really identify yourself with. And, with all that being said, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, drop a line. I would love the chance to get to know you as much as you're getting to know me. If you, I leave all my contact information in the description box below, including with my link to my podcast as well, that I got on Spotify and different podcast social platforms as well. And just, I'll leave that contact information down there. Is just like for spiritual networking. If you're wanting to share certain things that you've gone through that you may not understand and you're trying to see if I know, I try my best to be able to help, either through, the masses up there or whatever. They go ahead and tell me the insight to give you, or I just find it on the net and be able to give it to you. Whatever we speak on is confidential. So I try to help you out the best way I can. This is the weekend, please, be safe and responsible at everything you do. Whatever has been heavy on your heart as well as your mind, and you've been having sleepless nights, knowing it's going to lead you towards something so much better. And whatever you're trying to manifest in your life is going to be so much bigger than you ever imagined. It's going to bring you to your knees, and it's going to also come in last when you least expect it. God is very random like that. He ain't going to let you know anything happen until it actually happens. So, even through social distancing, make sure you give out love, light, positivity, words, vibes, frequencies. You just never know. All those things really take somebody a long way. And I'll see you on my next video. Much love to you. Peace.